There are some deals that were lost. I represented the seller. The buyer walked away the day of settlement.
Like at the closing table?
At the closing table. I hate fake people. And I don't know how to be fake. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I've learned to just be who I am and be okay with I'm not for everybody. My husband and I have a great work ethic. But when it came to that money, it just was like not talked about, lost to the side, and then bam, like it was bad.
I do not know where I would be today if I didn't go through that boot camp. You gave me the courage to step out of my comfort zone, be vulnerable, speak my truth. You don't necessarily have to be anything for anybody. As long as you are the thing for yourself, that's all that matters. Welcome to All I Do, the space where real stories, mindset, and strategy come together to move people forward. I'm Bridget, and today's guest is a real estate team leader, business coach, and creator of the Badass Bootcamp, someone who represents structure, strategy, and service-led leadership. After years of building her career on one of the top performing teams in our area, she made the bold decision to step out on her own, launching a real estate team, a coaching platform, and a personal brand rooted in systems, accountability, and truth. She's not just teaching agents how to succeed. She's showing them how to build something sustainable. A role model to me and many others. Today, we're keeping it real with Robin Gebhardt. Yay! Thanks for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
Oh, I'm super excited. I've wanted you on here for a while. So finally we got, after all of the summer and all of the, vacations and all that, we finally got the chance to sit down.
Yes, thank you.
So I want to start with the state of the market. And you've always been honest and open about the challenges. So what is it that agents are facing today?
I think that they are facing being able to be brave enough to tell their clients the truth about the reality of the market. And it's hard to have those hard conversations, but if you come from facts and stats, it shouldn't be that hard. We are afraid to say something that our clients don't want to hear, which is we're not in COVID times anymore as far as the market is concerned. And we want to sometimes share good, positive news. You're going to get 25 offers in 5 hours. And that just isn't happening anymore. So I think that that's the struggle.
So how can people kind of coach themselves through that and prepare them for those hard conversations?
I think that they need to show up to meetings that their brokerages are having. They should be meeting with their fellow colleagues, meeting with their brokers, and then just having real, authentic conversations with other colleagues that are in the market so they can hear it, they can repeat it, and then study their stats.
It is an isolating business, so you almost kind of forget that there are opportunities for collaboration, to hear that other people are in the same boat.
100%.
So making sure that you are taking advantage of those meetings in your brokerage, even maybe talking to your friends or something like that. Like, it's so important to be together, especially during these hard times.
Yeah. And then you really realize, oh, it's not just me. It's not just my client who's selling in Ruston or Round Hill. It's just the stature of the market. And the more conversations you have, the more confident and comfortable you become in having those conversations, which are just real authentic. It doesn't have to be fake or made up or...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you give us a few that you might have overcome over this past year?
Yes, I would say that this has definitely been one of the most challenging markets that I have had, and that I have had to have more honest conversations. I would say that agents need to not text with their clients. You need to have real, actual live conversations, because we all read text messages differently.
Yep, sure do.
Yes. And so there's a lot of buyer uncertainty. There was a lot of job market changes in the Fed area sector, which trickled down to other jobs in our area. And then the rates haven't moved much. So where some buyers, I think, thought they were going to jump because that's what national media said, it didn't. So then so much uncertainty. The conversations are just different, and they're harder, and they're real. And if we don't get on the phone to have conversations, not only with our clients, but the realtor on the other end, some deals could actually be saved if you just get somebody on the phone and say, can we talk about this? Like, tell me exactly where you're coming from. What is your client saying? How can I remedy this situation? How can we make this happen? We need to collaborate so much more, so much more. So I would say that there are some deals that were lost. I represented the seller. The buyer walked away the day of
Wow.
settlement. That has never happened to me in 11 years.
Like at the closing table?
At the closing table. And they were nervous about committing. It was a $250,000 condo, but they lost $2,500 in deposit because they were so nervous. I had another client who was a seller who chose to take their house off the market. They are planning to retire 5 years. So this was the step down process. We got an offer. It fell through. It went back live. And then they said, you know what? We don't want to move. We're going to stay. And they spent $100,000 prepping that home.
Oh, my.
And they had moved where they wanted to be closer to DC to live that more city life. They were going out to Winchester. And then through that whole process, they said, what are we doing? We're not ready to move. And so they took the house off the market. So I think that sometimes better conversations, I mean, I'm always trying to see how I can improve my questions with my clients. At the same time, I have to honor how they're feeling.
Yeah.
I'm never a pushy salesperson, but I do need to understand why people are doing what they're doing.
Right. How do you pick yourself up and just dust yourself off after losing transactions like that?
So I always joke that there's wine. Just kidding. Okay. So
As I sip my tea.
No, I have come a long way. I would say I have the backbone from my food and beverage industry, but what I have learned is the better I am in communicating and understanding that it's their problem and their situation and not mine, that I've done the best of my ability to help them and guide them, and they still choose to do whatever it is, that I have to be okay with it.
Yep.
Now, I still get in my head a little bit. I do like to walk my dog. I do like to sit out on my porch and just kind of reflect, what could I have done better? And I go back but I don't dwell on it. I'm not going to sit on it for days. I just know that I have to keep going and keep moving, having more conversations to get more business, because ultimately, out of all of those deals, they all still love me and they still are in contact with me, that it was just something that they are going through.
Yeah,
but you just have to keep going. Yeah. And I'm not going to win them all. And I recognize that. Yeah. You just have to stay in flow. With the few losses that I have a lot of wins.
There you go.
And so I focus on that.
Is that the same conversation you have with the agents on your team?
I try to be consistent how I am. So I think that how I'm talking with you is how I am with my realtor teammates, and same with my colleagues, as far as being transparent and asking the right questions. I do want people to feel like they can trust me and come to me if there is some type of adversity going on or a challenge, because if I don't know what's going on, then I can't help you. So it's probably the same. Why do you feel like you need to take your house off of the market? Why do you think that you can't get an offer on this house? Let's work through this. So yeah, I guess it is very similar, because I want to help. I'm a helper, but I need to understand your situation.
Exactly. Ask the questions.
Ask the questions and keep asking the questions. It's like talking to my son. Like one word answers.
Oh man, that's the worst.
I'm fine. No, you're not. It's fine. Yep, sure.
How was your day? Good. What did you do? Nothing. Really?
Nothing. You've been gone for 7 hours.
Exactly. So you've also been transparent about hitting rock bottom. Can we talk about that a little?
Sure, absolutely.
What was that time period like? What led up to that?
So that was from 2018-19, and I was salary for a very long time. And I am very transparent about this. I will talk outside of it. So I knew when the money was coming in, my taxes were taken out, my retirement was taken out, my husband had his job. Then I moved to commission, and there is not a lot of education and preparation on how to run a business when you're a 1099. So, maybe somebody said, Robin, you should open up a business account, but I didn't hear it. So my commission check, which wasn't a lot, went into my personal account. If you have a $10,000 check and it goes into your account, I wasn't of the mindset nor taught or thought about putting money here for taxes, putting here for your business. It was just all in one account. So we used it. And then I didn't have business for about 8 months. And that was not great. It's interesting to have fallen so far down when you're still married and your spouse still brings in money. We were just so lost and out of control and not communicating that it was bad in our marriage. I was stressed. I did have a panic attack kind of towards the end, which is when I found a financial coach, because I take care of the bills, and I never wanted to burden my husband because he was already stressed at work. So I'm going to handle this and I'm going to deal with this, but it wasn't good for anybody. And then I didn't even know how to drum up business at that point, right? You're just so lost. To the point at the end, we were behind on our mortgage for months. We borrowed $219 from our church for our electric bill, but obviously that's temporary. What's going to happen the next month? Yeah, it wasn't great. My stomach was in knots. We got a gift card for our son for Christmas. My husband and I have a great work ethic. But when it came to that money, it just was like, not talked about, lost to the side, and then bam, like it was bad. Notice of a possible lien on our house. And I was like, that's it. It was like my reputation. If the neighbors see a lien on our house and I'm a realtor,
Right.
it wasn't anything else leading up to it, which is stupid.
Interesting.
Right. I'm going to my church, sitting down saying, I can't pay my electric bill, but it was the lien.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, it was a trigger. Found a financial coach. I found her, Michelle Jacobic, and we couldn't afford her, but she was stern. And I believed her. I needed help, right?
Sure.
And so she helped us. And then I did everything possible that I could within my financial, like open houses are free, social media is free. So finally I did everything that I could that I had learned from the Platinum Group to get myself out there. And then I was slowly digging. She had a budget, an app that we use. She was in our accounts. I mean, there's a point where you have to kind of get over your ego and be like, help me, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm glad that we did, but it was awful. And so now moving forward, I do try to talk about it. It took several years to talk about it because it's, it's embarrassing. But it's not who I am.
Right.
It was a time of my life.
Yep.
And so I do try to encourage and teach everybody that financial piece. There's still times where like these deals that go through, you can never bank on that these transactions are going to happen until they happen. So how do you budget? Because you still have to do business and I still have to pay the bills. And
so how long were you an agent before this happened?
So let's see. I think I was 4 years.
Okay.
3 to 4 years. And
so really, it can happen at any point in your career.
For sure.
If you're just not set up for success and you're not managing, knowing your numbers, which includes your expenses and your financials.
Yes. You need to know your numbers. And people say 6 months of savings. Well, what does that look like?
Right.
I don't know. Your business is different than my business. $100 million producer is different than my business. My financial needs are different than theirs. So what does that mean? I don't know. But you have to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
And literally nobody talks about it.
Right.
Nobody talks about it. You can talk about your licensing and your fees.
Yeah, the upfront costs.
Yeah, the upfront costs. But what about everything else? Everything has a dollar amount. Like say you get one transaction now. The market is very fickle, which is kind of when I started talking about the past couple of years. There's a strain on realtors to produce the competition.
Yep.
And a lot of people are leaving the industry or they're doing much fewer deals. And how are they managing that? I have no idea. And I hope that people are talking to people and how to budget and stretch their dollar. But yeah, they need to plan.
Because this market has changed so drastically in the past 4 years.
It really has.
I would think that a lot of agents are struggling. What would you say to them right now?
I would say find more agents that are vulnerable like me to share real authentic stories, to know that you're not alone. And then to find somebody that you truly trust to be yourself and not to feel judged, and then talk about what's going on. You're never going to get out of that hump if you don't know how to work through this, because that's how real estate is. And we can keep grinding, but grinding is exhausting.
Sure is.
You're making phone calls, you're on social media, you're networking, you're doing open house. I mean, if you continue to do all the things, I'm a little more energetic than most. So I'd like doing those things, but at some point I do want to come home and be present.
Yep.
But that took me a long time. That was a conversation I had with my husband. I was like, listen, I'm going to work as hard as I can and I may not be around. But I think if people would lean on their mentors and coaches a little more and be more honest, then I think that they would see more success in their business. They need to find a judgment-free zone.
There you go. I agree with that. So you also touched on being in hospitality. Over 20 years?
About 20 years.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Like, how did you get into it?
I look so young.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you do. You do. We're not going to guess your age, but
it's fine.
Yes. So yes, how did you go to school for hospitality?
No. So I started off as a hostess. So we didn't have a lot of money growing up and I had to get a job. I was the oldest. I needed a car. So I did drive my siblings around to things, but I was also responsible for my gas and certain things. So I had to have a job. I did work before I got my license, but my first restaurant job was at Olive Garden in Tyson's Corner, the hostess with the mostest, as I like to say.
The one right on the corner.
Right on the corner.
That's hilarious.
And it's legit looks the same.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I haven't been inside for years, but it's insane. Every time I drive by, I'm like, it's
well, they haven't really updated their branding at all. So I can imagine it probably looks the same.
Listen, I graduated high school in 1994. The Olive Garden looks the same. I was working there in high school.
Hilarious.
What is happening?
And it's still there.
It's still there. They're doing good. So Maggiano's opened shortly after I had been there for a year or two. So my friends would come in with their moms and families, and I moved to them waiting tables. And they would say, you should go over to this Maggiano's place. It's much nicer. Italian food, the prices are high, you'd probably make more money. So eventually I ended up over there. And then through going to college and back, before I went to Maggiano's, I worked at the Olive Garden in Norfolk because I went to ODU. So I waited tables in between there. And then I just grew a passion for it. I don't know. I moved into the banquets where there were the large parties were upstairs in Maggiano's. And that's kind of where I grew in that field.
That makes sense because you had said to me at one point that your mom always threw parties. There was always get-togethers.
Yes, she did.
So it makes sense that you kind of grew in the space that you felt
That's
most
true.
at home.
Yeah, like in charge of throwing the big parties. And they were fun.
I'm
Back then,
sure.
people spent a lot of money. Weddings. I know I talked about before, like the pharmaceutical dinners, but I mean, people spend a lot of money to woo people. But the weddings on the weekends, those are fun. The bar and bat mitzvahs, rehearsal dinners. Yeah, it was fun. And I became banquet captain pretty young, which is like you're in charge of the staff. And then I did not graduate college. I then pursued and moved on with Maggiano's and opened 5 restaurants with them. Like I was just like, let's go.
What
And I loved it.
locations?
There's 2 in the Philadelphia market. So in Center City, 12th and Filbert, and which is next to the Reading Terminal. If anybody knows, it's amazing. Then I opened King of Prussia, which is a suburb of that. Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati. I lived there for a year. It is very conservative.
Got
Not for
it.
me, but that's where I met Chris. And then we moved to Nashville.
Oh, okay.
And I helped open the Chevy Chase Maggiano's as well.
Okay.
So Chevy Chase opened first, actually. So I lived here when I came back from school, and I went there to help open that location. So I lived in Philly area for like 3.5 years.
Did you? Okay.
I lived in North Jersey, right outside New York, right outside of the what bridge? I'm drawing a blank of the bridge, but where I was the last exit on the Jersey Turnpike in Fort Lee, New Jersey. So it's North Jersey, like you could see the Manhattan skyline, which is pretty awesome.
So how did you even land there? Like, did you have to interview for that?
So I loved my area director. He's the best. There's a couple bosses that I've had that have been great mentors. 2 of them named Michael.
Interesting.
It's probably because I'm an athlete. I like to be led. I like to be challenged. And I don't like to be held soft or like I can't do things. Like bring me on the challenge. And I like to be acknowledged like, good job, Robin. But I liked a good challenge. And so Michael Ridgway was one of my first mentors at Maggiano's. And he was called to open these locations and asked if I would move with him. And I wasn't married or anything. So I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like living on my own. My favorite place was Cincinnati. And my husband makes fun of me all the time because it was like a 100-year-old building all the way up, no elevator, ghetto rigged electric. But I loved it. It was great. Then after he and I met, I moved to the Palm restaurant. So I worked at the Palm in Nashville, Tennessee, and then we moved to Orlando. And my mentor, amazing boss then, is Michael Martin, probably one of the best leaders I've ever worked with also. And he was of the hospitality mindset. I don't care what it takes. Every guest is happy. And whatever they need, we're going to make it happen. Doesn't matter what's happening behind the scenes. The kitchen could be on fire. Hi, welcome, Bridget. So great. Your table's ready for what the fuck? You know, like you're just screaming, where is the drink? Bridget likes 2 cherries, you know, but you would never know. But that's where I would say, you know, like Maggiano's, you go there for special occasions, right? There's a special occasion restaurant, typically. High school graduations, a birthday party, an anniversary. So that's like a nice feeling. We had very much systems. And then Palm was a little more elevated because the rich and famous would go in there and you'd have to treat them a certain way. Even the regulars who are not rich and famous, you still have to treat them of a sorts. And so that's where that stemmed from. Like some regulars, this one in Nashville, he was on a diet. He was a regular and he wanted diet tonic. Well, that was not on the menu, but we would make sure we always had a 6-pack of diet tonic for him when he came in. So if there's a certain food allergy that whatever that may be, we always made sure we had it for that person in particular. And it's just a little something like, what, $4 for a 6-pack of diet tonic is nothing. But to him, hey, the Palm makes me feel special with my diet tonic, whatever. But it's a good feeling.
So as far as the experience in hospitality and those great leaders that you had, what would you say you took away most from them to integrate into your business now?
You know, the biggest thing is listening. You just have to listen. Every person, every homeowner, buyer, seller, tenant, investor that you help, every client that walks in, customer, they would call them guests, that walks into your restaurant is different and have different needs. And if you don't understand what it is that they need, you can't help them. I mean, there may be a black and white contract, right?
Right.
But people are not black and white. And so for me to best serve you, because that is what we're doing as realtors, we are serving you. I need to understand you to the best of my ability. So when I meet you for the first time, I have to connect with you. So I'll keep talking and asking questions until I can feel the connection. And I know I can feel it within the first few minutes. Is it a little special talent? But it's because I talked to people for 20 years in restaurants. When we were behind the door and I'm making them wait for 30 minutes.
Yes.
Shit's coming out of my mouth to appease them with a drink or an appetizer. And it's the same for real estate. I think that's the biggest thing is you have to listen to your clients.
Right. And be aware of what isn't being said, I would think.
Absolutely.
Self-awareness and also, just aware of the body language and the tone.
And I'm always taking notes because I learn something from every client. I cannot continue to do the same system that I do every year. You can't. Actually, every person, you cannot. I'm tweaking and adjusting and changing my listing presentation, my buyer presentation, and my questionnaire frequently because of something I was asked. I was like, man, nobody's ever asked me that before. I should probably be proactive and start asking that question.
Right. So I feel like agents sometimes struggle with brand identity, but you are very much solid in your voice and your presence. So how do you feel that did that develop over time? Was it something that started early on for you?
It's a really good question. I'm sure if my mom was here, she would say something. If the nanos was here,
What would she say?
I think she would say that I've been a confident young lady since I was little, because there is something to be said about being the oldest if you're the oldest of multiple children, right? You have a certain responsibility that is bestowed upon you.
The third parent.
Yes. My sister would tell you I was like the second mom. So there is that certain level, I think, of maturity that happens sooner than expected. And there were some trials, like everyone has some kind of childhood something, I suppose. And then my mom was pretty confident. My godmother was pretty confident in who they were. Like I had some strong role models in my world for women and standing up for your belief. I did grow up in this area. My godmother definitely did some rallies in DC, right? Like it's not all about woman power, but it is about believing in who you are and standing up for yourself. And I am an emotional person. I am a Pisces. We're emotional. I think my godmother and my mom, February 26th.
Okay.
It is the big 50. They encouraged me to have an opinion, but they would definitely give it back to me if they thought my opinion was not correct.
Yeah.
Tough love. I grew up on tough love. And so I think that somebody challenged me or somebody years ago about a video of just being yourself. And I was like, I don't care. And I was older in life to have my son and I was too exhausted to pretend to be somebody not. I hate fake people. And I don't know how to be fake. It's very uncomfortable for me. Probably because my mom and my godparents always shut me straight. It's a personality trait. You can pick up when people are fake.
Yes.
And I don't like it. And so as I've gotten older and bolder, I have learned to be friendly with everybody, but it doesn't mean I have to be friends with everybody. So I've learned to just be who I am, and I continue to embrace who I am and be okay with I'm not for everybody. And it is hard.
Yeah.
But it's the same with realtors wanting, why didn't somebody call me? Or, and I'm not, my sign is up in the yard. And I'm just like, they're not my people. It took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
It's probably my upbringing and being the oldest. And I would say being a collegiate athlete, you have to kind of stand out for yourself. It's very competitive, as is real estate. And in your circle of people who believe in you, like your friends, I preach about having friends outside of work, and hopefully they're good, positive role models for your soul and ego too.
Right. You said not everybody has to like you. So hard.
And I'm a people pleaser. I am a people pleaser. But I do believe that as you get older, you don't have time. Literally, you don't have time. It's exhausting.
Right.
But I want you to like me, Bridget. Are we okay?
You must like me, but I can't be all the things.
That's right. The whole let them theory has been amazing. Mel Robbins. And I always feel like if people only knew me, my intentions are really good.
Yes.
They really are. And so if I can't call back or something immediately or what have you, it's just because life got in the way. So I don't know if I really answered your question, but I think it's just been part of my whole upbringing of staying authentic. Yeah.
So the brand should be who you are. That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that's true.
So where did Badass Boot Camp come from?
I don't know. It's badass. Be badass. So I did coaching. I was at a turn point of my career where I wanted more business. I don't want to do $100 million and be not around with my friends and family. That's not what I was looking for. I wanted to give back, and I wanted to help. And I did this coaching program, and he's talked about, he calls it infopreneurship. And he's like, teaching something that you're good at. And I remembered that I loved training when I was at Maggiano's in the Palm. And by training as a server, you have ways to make more tips by increasing the check average. So I would tell them and teach them to look at things differently and how to upsell, right? With encouragement and high fives through the shift when it gets really stressed, like, it's okay, I got it, you got it. It's like, soccer, when I played soccer. You miss a shot, you fall down, it's all good, get up, girl, we've got this. And so I felt like we needed more of a cheerleader in our world. There's a lot of coaches, but not mentors. And so badass just kind of came to me. I feel like, there's a lot of badass people. And then it just kind of came. Everything that he was saying, I was ready for. When you're in that spot, when you're ready, you're like, yes, I think I'm going to do this. And I literally flew by the seat of my pants the first course. But I was like.
Well, that was one that you did for free. And people still talk about it.
Yeah.
So what is it that you offer?
I think what I offer is a lot of tough love, first and foremost.
I would agree.
And I think that we don't get a lot of that. Then the second thing is trying to find out who your demographic is. Who do you really want to work with? And who do you like working with and who don't you like to work with? And if you could focus that energy and be more direct and have more clear vision, then you actually get more excited about who you can target.
I did the Badass Bootcamp earlier this year. So my journey with you, I guess, is when I decided to leave the team that I was on, start my own company. I had talked to a few people that, I trusted to kind of, give me that different perspective. Is this the right thing to do? That sort of thing. And 2 people told me to talk to you. That was back last summer. And I was like, oh, okay. So, Facebook stalked you for a long time. Finally met you in person, either December, January, something like that, at a party. And that's when you told me to come to your boot camp. You were starting like the next week or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I started my own business. I don't necessarily have funds to invest into coaching right now. It was all the things, right? So I did it. And I tell you this, probably not enough. I do not know where I would be today if I didn't go through that boot camp. You gave me the courage to step out of my comfort zone, to be more myself on social media, be vulnerable, speak my truth. You don't necessarily have to be anything for anybody. As long as you are the thing for yourself, that's all that matters. Even more than just the social media, the events piece, the people that we met in boot camp, like the collaborations, the things that I learned that agents needed. So then that helped me in my business and develop my offerings and packages and stuff. Like I would, and I do recommend it to everyone for sure, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what level of business. Like it's so important to just have those different styles of coaching, I think, because you don't really know what you need.
Right.
You were able to provide a balance of accountability, encouragement, unity, collaboration, innovation. Like it was just exactly what I needed at that moment.
I could probably articulate better what the boot camp is meant to be. And you're such a prime example. You stepped out and you allowed yourself to be vulnerable. And that's the environment that I feel like I'm trying to create so people can be true to themselves and then find your mission. And it may not be in real estate.
Right.
And you really did. You impressed me. We didn't really know each other beforehand. And I think that's what's awesome about it. And then you did listen to other realtors and figured out how you can help them and brought your expertise out. And you've grown like exponentially. Your mission and vision is clear, I feel. And it's like several, actually.
Right.
Which is great.
So is it clear or is it?
Because it's kind of like, I feel like it's like an entrepreneur's mind, but when you find your passion, you just want to like explode and be like, let's go. And then you're still growing and learning and figuring it out, but it's been awesome. And you were so kind to say those things. And I'm grateful that you took the chance.
Definitely. One of the questions I want to ask you is if agents are struggling right now, how do you encourage them to invest in themselves in this program? But I do want to kind of highlight that if you are investing, make sure you put everything into it.
Yeah.
You have to be present. I think you mentioned it before, even just in hospitality, just learning to be present, but go all in.
You have to go all in. And one of the reasons that I struggled to take this to online is because there's so much power in in-person energy. The energy, I can feel you. Like I can feel the way you're looking at me right now. And when it's 2-dimensional on a Zoom, it doesn't happen. We're so distracted. And I think that the energy and the support that when people open up and become vulnerable, the support is real and they feel you and then they feel heard. Right. And then they feel seen. And then you just want to help everybody. And I think that people have to look past the dollar amount. They need to do their research and understand that every coaching program is not the same.
Right.
Get to know the person who's actually leading that program. Who are they really? Get on a one-on-one. There's a lot of sales. There's a lot of noise online.
Yep.
There's so much noise online. And, putting a price tag on it is hard because I do come from the heart. But I have been taught that I need to also charge for my time, I guess. But I do and that's the thing is I'm not charging thousands of dollars.
No.
But it's in person twice a week. There's several people I would say that have had really great relationships have been made in this program.
Yep.
It's not the same. Every coaching program is not the same. And for the longest time, I called myself a mentor. I didn't want to be looked at as a coach.
Right. I struggle with that term too.
I don't know. I really want you to succeed.
Right.
And if I can help you and if you let me help you, but you're right. So many people sign up for things and then by week 2, and that's when it happens. Week 2 and week 3 is literally when I can tell if a breakthrough is going to happen for somebody and not. Every time. Every time I can tell. You start asking lots of questions, Miss Bridget.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you're like, excuse me.
Yeah. And so I want to point out that you also bring in industry professionals. So to help us in all different areas of business. So you get Robin, you get her systems, you get the accountability, you get the collaboration and the real stories and growth with the people that are there day to day, but then you also bring in these huge powerhouses. That's just such a value.
I am a conference junkie. I love learning and feeling empowered by others.
Yes.
Again, I think it goes back to my athlete days, but Maggiano's did a really great job back in the day when I worked for them in their conferences, and you're like pumped up afterwards. I'm going to go sell $100 million in weddings. I don't know what it is, but I enjoy them. So I think that's why I bring them in. Then I had this epiphany that I kind of know some people, and they're not always real estate related because I think business is business. Whatever you're selling or doing, business is still the same mindset and how we handle it. The one I have this year, she's amazing. She's actually good friends with my husband, but Jen Gray from Top Golf and Maggiano's. I mean, I was like, I'm just going to ask her. There's no harm in asking anybody. If you know somebody that knows somebody, keeping it real. She could just say no. You're crazy. Or she could be like, yeah, I would love to see Chris. And so it was a good excuse for actually her to come see Chris. But she's going to talk about epitome of badass. I mean, she's a badass and she's a successful business owner. And I think we learn so much from others. There's so much noise of top producer realtors. And maybe it's because I'm in my 11th year. I don't want to hear the same shit anymore. And I cuss. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Beep.
Yep. Beep. I really want to hear the struggles and what was your breakthrough that helped you get to where you need to be. That's where I am in my phase of life. I don't have time for fluff.
Right.
I am 50 next year.
11 years.
I don't have time for it. So
mid-century. No, mid-century.
Mid-century.
Wow.
It's fine. It's fine.
We all get there.
Yeah, I know. We all get there.
Hopefully.
No, I feel actually pretty good. And I'm glad that I had my son younger in life. I think he keeps my husband and I young. But the big sweet spot to my boot camp, which came organically, was having Julie Holgate at the end of every. For some people, it's not, people are taken back by it, but she's a psychotherapist. Real estate is also a mind game, but we also have real lives outside of it.
Yep.
And with whatever's happening in our personal lives is a distraction to our business and vice versa. And she really brings in her professional expertise. Realtors, unless they have a degree in psychotherapist, are not therapists.
Yeah, no.
They could tell you about their time management and what they've done. That's awesome. But she's going to really give you support and a mini therapy session. And she ends every boot camp. And I think
I love it.
It's a blessing. And many people have sought her services. Life is hard. I mean, I would say through the year and a half I've done my boot camp, people have lost parents, challenges with children, challenges with siblings, spouses, irate clients that will then trigger from your childhood. And if you've never dealt with how to handle that, she teaches that. And I am so grateful for her. If I could go on the road with her, you want to get to 20 million from 10 million, but where are you mentally and psychologically? Can you even get there yet? I don't know. You could do 100 open houses, but if you get stuck because of something that somebody says, you won't get there.
Right.
It's not always some systems, I guess is the point. And that just came organically through her and I having some wine and talking about, I don't remember. It was just a few realtors. I love conversations. People are very open and comfortable talking to me. And I was sharing that with her. And then you're like, gosh, we go through so much. It's not just women. Men go through it too, right? I seem to attract women more than men, and that's okay too. Women power. But, men too, I would encourage you to go come to a boot camp.
Learn.
Yeah. I mean, I worked in restaurants for 20 years. I actually sometimes feel like I get along better with men than I do women because I can't handle drama. I'll be like, oh, girl, get out.
I'm done.
I'm done. No, I will not feed into your drama today.
Right.
It is not happening.
Let them, okay?
Let them. For real.
When is the next boot camp?
The next one is September 10th.
Okay.
It is in Leesburg. It is 5 weeks, 2 days. It is different every quarter because every season is different.
Right.
This September is very different than September last year.
I believe it.
September was different than January boot camp. So if you are in a coaching program that's the same things every day, good for you.
Right.
I hope that you're growing.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. And these classes are smaller, like, 20 to 25 is the sweet spot because I do feel like that's where I can really help and make an impact. I mean, it'd be a beautiful blessing if I have like 50, 100 people signing up, but it's just not designed that way right now. But September 10th, I'm still debating one maybe for November, right before Thanksgiving, and then January, the third week of January.
Okay. Do you still have openings for September 10th?
I do.
Perfect.
I do. And I've got some baller speakers in addition to Jen Gray. I've got, it's more coaching heavy because I think a lot of realtors need some authentic coaching right now. And then always an investor. So Karen Reynoso, who's local in Alexandria, teaches realtors how to invest. And she's amazing and a flipper. And so I think that's important.
How can people register?
You can go to Eventbrite and look at Badass Boot Camps, or you can message me, or you can call me.
You're easy to find.
I am all over. I am there.
You sure are.
And it's on my, what's it called? Linktree?
Yep.
Yeah, it's on Linktree, Eventbrite. You can call Bridget.
Yes, exactly. I'll get you there.
Yes. You're awesome.
You moved from being an agent on a large team to then creating your own. What have you learned from that shift?
I learned that I love it. It's my passion. I didn't want it for a long time because I used to joke that I managed adults for a long time in restaurants. And managing adults is exhausting.
Yes.
It's different when you're repeating to your child, but when they're as an adult, you're like, you do see how you can make more money, right? Okay, cool. But then I can't do anything outside of that, right? But through this whole process, I've learned that I love it. I've learned that I am not made for large groups. So like I have no desire to be mega team because I won't be able to be impactful for them. I want to be available for them. I've learned that I am continuing to grow as a leader, that when I started, my vision wasn't very clear. It just kind of grew into that because I didn't want it for a long time. Then I realized that I loved it. And then I had to be transparent with them with what my vision is, which is boot camp. Maintain both, but I want them to be successful. Their definition of success, I needed to understand. And then learning their strengths and weaknesses. Individually. Yeah. You can't treat everybody the same. You can't. And everybody has different goals. We did this really awesome exercise where one person on my team really only needed, based off of her house average, she only needed to do 5 deals.
Okay.
Because that's all she needed for her budget and what she needed for her family. Whereas another person on my team is like, bring on 50 deals. I'm trying to crush it. Right. So that's different.
Sure.
I need to have different expectations. But what I am very important about is my mission, which is community first.
Yes.
And they know that. We are looking for 2 more members on my team, and then that's it. But it is community first. We will always give back. And that has been a passion, and it's what I grew up doing. So every quarter we pick a charity.
Do you have?
I have a third coming. He's getting his license right now.
Okay. Yes. I didn't meet him, but I saw him.
Yeah. So I've got 2 active.
Cool.
And one, he's getting his license, and I'm excited about that. So I can teach him from the ground up. There's an area of opportunity for new agents.
Yes.
Desperately.
With the right guidance.
With the right
mentorship.
Guidance. Yep. But also me telling them, this is my expectation of what I like.
Yes. Accountability.
Yes, accountability. Accountability and giving back. The world is so much bigger than we don't realize. You just do a little charitable work and it puts things in perspective. I would like 2 more agents because I would like to be able to fully commit. They know I would like to take off with the boot camp, but they say you can't be at 2 places at the same time. Yeah. So that's why I took off the spring from my boot camp because I had never fully was all into my team. And that was unfair to them. And that was a big growing period for me. So now I feel a little more safe now.
Good.
Launching in September.
So how do you build a team that respects systems while not killing creativity and freedom?
That's a great question. So you have to have an open door policy, and you have to allow people to have an opinion. You have to allow them to be a part of the process. And it probably comes from my restaurant days. You have to learn to empower your people, encourage them and support them that they're making good decisions, but then also realize that the systems are what make you successful. But
Yes.
once you find out what your passion is, like I'll use Michelle as a great example. She loves hiking and she wants to empower single women, divorced women in so many different facets, not just in home ownership, but she has to have the systems to maintain her business. She also wants to take her hiking group to another level, but she also wants to help women. So the systems are going to help her what brings the money in. And then we can talk about, okay, tell me about your hiking. What do you want to do? What do you see? What makes you happy? Is it these trips that you take over to Kilimanjaro? And I think that allows for the creativity. And you have to have an open forum. I'm not a dictator. You can't, that doesn't work.
Great.
But you still have to have a vision and a goal that is collective for everybody, that's attainable, and then be encouraged to be able to dream. Like I want my son to dream big, right? I may shoot him down, but in a loving way.
Right.
That's so sweet. It's not happening. But
Right.
what else do you want to do?
Moving on.
Moving on. So same for the team. They're all their own people. I don't want to take them away, but the goal is to pay bills and to have investments and retirement. But you still have to have dream because life is so serious
All the time.
all the time. And I love creative. Like my brain is crazy all the time. So I do write it down, and I do have other people that I bounce these ideas off of. So
Yes.
hopefully you have that too. And it may not be me that my team wants to bounce them off. So hopefully I have somebody else that they can dream big with.
Yeah. So when you think about the legacy you're creating, what do you hope for your team and your family?
I hope that with my team, they realize that they can accomplish whatever they put their mind to, and that if they dream big for themselves and their family, that they can do it. I want them to believe that they can do it, and then I will do whatever it is that I can to help them, and that they feel heard. In the bigger picture, like for my son, to always feel like he is who he is, that I'm never going to judge him for how he is. You be kind, you be respectful, but you can be quirky and goofy and whatever, but we will always be kind and respectful and be authentic to yourself. I feel like that would be my legacy. Like Robin's family is always there. We're always supporting and helping, and we are, to the best of our ability through love and care, and that you can dream big. It's never too late. I mean, I could have given up back then. Younger Robin would have quit real estate in 2019. I would have said, fuck that. I'm out. I'm out. I probably would have gone back to restaurants.
I was just going to say, would you go back to
I probably would have,
restaurants?
because that's an easy way out. And I was burnt out, but I left restaurants because I was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know what I wanted. But, failure is okay as long as you have the right people on your side to keep going.
Love that. So what's next for Robin?
Well, I tell myself that my son graduates high school in 6 years. And
It sounds so far away, but it really isn't.
I know it's not. I know it's not. I would love to continue what I'm doing. I hope to make an impact in the real estate community that is authentic and real and not so numbers driven, and to make dreams actually come true. It's important for people to feel heard. And I don't think that happens a lot. But I would like to continue what I'm doing, but have more freedom in my schedule to end up and be flexible wherever my son ends up, which could be with us. He is a mama's boy. So I'm not sure. Like the next 10 years to be full on coaching is something that I think it's on the horizon. And I don't know what that looks like yet.
Right.
And some of it may have to go online, which I'm okay with.
Sure.
I'm okay with that. As long as I can teach a little bit of different perspective to this industry, I feel like it just needs a little shift and a little different. I'm not trying to change the world.
Right.
I'm just trying to keep it real that we're humans in a really challenging market where you're just forced down your throat to sell 20 million in real estate. And I just think it's so toxic. And I want people to be supported. We use the word collaboration very loosely in this industry. Collaborate. What does that mean?
Right.
I have a dream to pay off my mom's condo. I helped her buy that last year. She'd never owned in her whole life.
Wow.
So that was something I wanted to give to her. It would have been easy for her to move into my house.
Sure.
But to give her home ownership and that feeling, to choose her tile, to choose the knobs on her kitchen cabinets. She's never done that before. That's 75.
I love that.
I know. I just know that I financially don't want to be burdened by the next transaction when he graduates. So I have some savings to do, but I also am ready to make a little impact where I can.
Amen. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
I think you know that I adore you.
Same. The feeling is mutual. I'm ready to watch you just continue to crush it all the way.
Maybe we can go on the road together, you, me, and Julie.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's go.